And welcome back into Crosstalk on this Monday morning. I'm Ben Blecha, and we continue our small business series, and we're joined once again this week by Laurie Jones. Laurie, thank you for being part of this. Last week, we started talking about making big decisions, and I said at the end of the program, this week, we're going to talk about business ethics. We're going to talk about being a socially responsible business, because you are teaching a class up at NJC, and college students, in true to their form, are incredibly socially responsible. And that's a question you've gotten a lot.
And, this is what I think is so good, because we'd like to think that decades ago we were all very socially responsible. But the younger people today in college, social responsibility, whether it is what they do on the outside, activities they're interested in, they want to work for people that believe in the concept of doing good in the community, and they want to work in a business that does good in a community. And so recently in our class, which is a business class, we've had good discussions and research, and it is incredible to me how important doing the wrong thing really has impacted the students in my class.
One wrong decision will live with you forever. It takes more than one right decision to offset a wrong. And I bring that up because I think of Nike back in the early 90s. And this is 20 years ago. And when you still say Nike to somebody, 6 times out of 10, this will still be brought up, using the kids in the sweatshops in China.
And that actually, again, the tech industry, when products are manufactured overseas, particularly out of China, this has really concerned a lot of younger people and and many consumers, but most specifically, I think it is the younger generation. They are using a lot of products that are made overseas. And there has been quite a bit of publicity recently, just as an example, of Apple Computer using a particular manufacturer, as other manufacturers have. And this manufacturer has got sweatshop conditions. Not only that, they literally don't pay their employees much. And what happens is, it is just such an opposite of what an Apple or another well-known company believes in. And it gets to the point of, yep, that's big business, but let's talk about local business.
Right.
And the reputation. So where I'm leading this is being socially responsible as a business deals with 4 main things. And the first thing is your business, or if you are the owner or a key person in the business and you're visible in the community, are you, as a business, a good corporate citizen? So being involved in activities or other nonprofits or attempting to do some things, consumers are going to businesses that they see this attitude of being a good corporate citizen. The next one, of course, is legal, the legal aspect. Are you doing things under the laws that are done properly? And I'll tell you a tough one that's a hard-hitting issue. A lot of smaller businesses sometimes like doing things off the books.
Right.
Well, that sends a poor message to the rest of the people that work for you, which is, if you're not accounting properly or paying the taxes or whatever it is, that becomes an issue. And by the way, the Department of Revenue in the state of Colorado has hired on a lot of examiners in this year, and they are going to go out looking for people who are trying to avoid paying their proper share of sales taxes and doing things the right way. So that's another issue to think about. Ethical, that one's huge. Doing things the right way in your business, which obviously deals everything from a code of ethics to all of that. And then the very last one is, too, a business that is a for-profit business has a responsibility to make a profit and to hopefully turn around, improve the business, grow the business, pay their people more. Those are the things that, again, today, people coming out of community colleges, universities, business schools, this is a huge focus, and it's very important. And so from the business owner's point of view, it's like, oh, wow, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. but people are thinking a lot about this these days.
And definitely are. As we talk our small business series here on Crosstalk this morning with Laurie Jones from the SBDC, we're talking business ethics and being a socially responsible business. Obviously, there are four main parts of being a socially responsible business. Another aspect that you can look at is similar to what Apple is doing.
Right.
Is going through right now. They're using a company. They are not using sweatshops in China.
Right.
They are using a company that uses these. So it's not just what are you doing as a business, it's who you're affiliating yourself with.
And, you know, we all like to think that we can control as small business owners, our suppliers and everyone else, but in this day and age, being connected to someone, whether it is a supplier, who we sell to as customers, it doesn't take much for something to go wrong and things being posted on a Facebook page, right or wrong.
Right.
And again, leads you back to maybe somebody out there is going, what is ethics? Well, ethics is nothing more than principles and standards of acceptable behavior or business conduct. And that a lot pertains to how you lead your business, manage your business, your employees, and again, having that tone set properly. There's been a lot of documentation that businesses that are ethical businesses and are socially responsible are going to and have gotten the bigger share of dollars away from their competitors.
It's important as well in here to make sure your employees are doing things right as well. And I want to turn this away from the business owner standpoint that we focus on a lot to the people that work for a business, because 90% of people work for somebody else. And it's another aspect with a lot of young people coming out of college that have grown up with technology, that have grown up with some certain values that maybe don't line up in the business world. It's important to be a socially responsible employee,
right,
in addition to working for a socially responsible business.
And you know, that's a great point. There's been a lot of research done, but the number one ethical problem in a business is abusing either the company resources or someone working on company time as an employee that is constantly checking Facebook. They are doing things and maybe ordering products off the internet, maybe using wherever they work's computer, and they could be texting their friends at the same time, and they've got, of course, their smartphone there and they can have it under the desk. The hard part is trying to balance with, how do you tell someone you can't do that when they've grown up having access to all the technology, which is back to people going into a business need to realize you're there, you're getting paid to perform a service or make a product and contribute to that business that you work for, so you have a responsibility too. And if your boss didn't necessarily say you can't do this, hopefully, you know, people are realizing they shouldn't be doing this at work unless they're allowed to, and they have time allocated to do this during the day.
Definitely. Don't text and drive if you drive for a living.
Exactly.
That would be something that would be very common. Of course, you know, having business ethics, being a socially responsible business is very important. And in the end, you want your business not only to profit, but to have a good image. Because there are tons of businesses out there that are making tons of money that people hate because they don't do everything right.
Yeah, and again, a successful business that can sort through the code of ethics and the employees that are willing to ask the questions, well, am I allowed to do this, or do I do this on my break? At the same time, being socially responsible also means things like, are you being a good steward of the environment? Mm-hmm. Are you doing practices, because again, this is another emphasis we have in today's economy, which is recycling and using materials that are recycled materials. Highlighting those kinds of practices in your business is a good thing. It differentiates you from another business, and you may end up attracting customers too.
Yeah, obviously, so many different reasons to be socially responsible and to have good business ethics. Of course, doing things the right way is the most important of those. There's no question.
And let me throw in another idea. If you're listening and you're not sure, because this doesn't sound like something that's good to your business, if you have ideas too, this is being encouraged in all businesses today. Employees should go to their bosses or their supervisors or the owners and say, you know, it would be really great if we as a group could help this volunteer organization once a month or 2 times a year and get involved in something. It gives visibility of your company and your business into the community, and it makes people feel connected that their business can contribute to a worthy cause.
And oftentimes if you volunteer your business to do something like that, you'll end up leading the charge, but then, hey, you get to be more part of the business as an employee.
That's right.
Obviously very important to be socially responsible. And if there are any questions, Laurie, on is my business doing something socially responsible as a business owner, they can contact you at the SBDC.
You know, and yes, that'd be great, because I love these conversations. Sometimes it's a matter of how do I become socially responsible, or this is all new to me, and I can point people to resources, and through our consultants we can help you out in these areas. If it's things like where do I find out about codes of ethics and that sort of thing too. So the best way to reach us is at the neeccosbdc.org or NECO SBDC. You could put that into your search engine. I can be reached directly by phone at area code 970-520-0798. By the way, you can go on Facebook too, and we're out there on Facebook. And then finally, if you're in the Sterling area, I'm based out of the Logan County Economic Development Office, and that's at 213 Main Street.
All right. Well, Laurie, it's always fun to talk business and wonderful topics. Thank you for being on Crosstalk.
You're
today.
welcome. Thanks, Ben.